Hello, everyone. As you can see, there's one of us missing. Don't worry. He's having a little bit of problem with his computer and our video chat software. So, let's hope he can resolve the problem and rejoin us before too long. Alright, so, for everyone watching us, welcome to Draken Memoria. For those joining us for the first time, greetings. For those returning, welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you all with us tonight. Well, at least for us, it's tonight, with the exception of one member. And for those who might be wondering what this is, well, it's about a group of people playing with Dungeons and Dragons. Because we all like it, and if you don't, we're very sorry, but we're not sorry. So, for those who might have not have watched past episode, quick reminder, you can always catch up with where we are on YouTube or with Patreon, where I post the past episodes. There are panels below where you can find links for both of these websites. You can also find on the Patreon rule change and bits of lore, as this is a homebrewed world. So if you're wondering about maybe a rule that is not the same as written in the book, or that you've never heard of, this is where you will be able to find more information. And finally, if you want to support us, it's always welcome. You can always follow us, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, of course. It's a huge moral boost for each one of us, including me, especially me. And if you want to help us financially, well, there's the possibility to make donations and become a Patreon. Sorry, I'm not big enough for the ability to subscribe, so eventually, hope this will become a possibility. And of course, you can always help us just by spreading the word, helping us grow. We're always very thankful for this. And now, this is everything I had to say, so let's get on with the show.
And
yes,
during that, we lost another person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we dropped off now.
Oh, okay. Well, they haven't... Okay. Alright. Well, let's hope that this is not a two-person night. Alright, so, to recap what happened last episode, our marvelous group managed to... welcome back.
Hello.
So, last episode, as I was saying, our group managed to survive the aftermath of surviving this fight, as they all seemed to be slightly angry at one another. Fortunately, throughout the day, everything sort of was smoothed out. Mostly. They made a new friend with an elemental who gave them a reward. They found a mysterious cloth, which boggled their mind and was impossible to figure out, as well as intellectually as magically. And they all ended up going back to town. I'd like to say merrily, but it was mostly only from our paladin, who was very eager to rejoice, tell the tales of your accomplishment, the party's accomplishments, and maybe slip in a few words about the dragons. During their night of rest, Tobiashi came into the realization of his monastic tradition and has now become able to summon cloth, which for now he only wears as cool armband and neat vest. We'll just hope that he can do much more than this in the future. As for Valtteri, well, she sort of started trying to reunite with her friend, the pseudo-dragon. Trevor mostly pondered about what had happened. Figured that he might have actually been an asshole, but wasn't ready to admit it, just to say I'm sorry. And audience just celebrated. But during the night he was visited by his lord, which granted him more power. And he chose his oath, the oath of the crown. This is where the stream left, as our paladin woke up empowered with energy, but it seems right now that he is amazed by his new powers, as he is not awake yet. And so we start with the remaining 3 members of our group: Valtteri, Tobiashi, and Trevor. You all wake up from a night of sleep with the previous day still in mind, each with your own questions about your own behavior, your newfound powers, and are left to decide what to do next. What do you want to do? You have just all woken up. You are still in your room.
I guess if Trevor's doing enlightenment, he'll spend probably the first 5-10 minutes or whatever his new spells that he got from his rest and leveling up, and then head downstairs. Probably grab a quick bite to eat, and then go head back to the temple.
All right.
Where I got the herbs, incense and stuff before.
All right. Just to make sure, has anyone checked that we have sound on the stream?
Oh.
Oh no, not yet.
Every time I try to do this, everything goes to wherever, and I have trouble catching up.
I had to reload because I had no volume control.
Well, of course you're going to hear me. It's always for all of you that I want to know.
Yes.
Maybe it's me. Somebody else needs to check because I'm not hearing anything. Anybody.
All right. Well,
Maybe I'll check my sound settings. Yeah, no, they're set right. So yeah, double check.
All right. So maybe Valtteri, can you just talk, since you have the most different voice?
I'm on it.
No, you could hear your voice.
Okay.
Good.
We're all good. All right.
All right. It's just me then. All right.
I just wanted to make sure. All right.
I have sound.
We have sound. All right. So, all right. So you go down, grab a bite to eat. Valtteri and Tobiashi, what do you do?
I am, waking up seeing that. I'm going to go downstairs, go get something to eat, and then head to the library. If there is a library in town.
Not exactly. It is a very small village. Usually in the village, the best source of information is older people.
Okay, well, I'll go talking around then.
All right. So you go
I'm the
down. You
oldest person
just
in
start
town.
looking around. Do you grab something to eat? Do you do anything else?
Just grab something to eat and then yeah, start
All
looking
right.
around.
For everyone who wants something to eat, it's going to be three copper. Sorry. And what exactly are you going to look for?
I am looking for the oldest looking person. Well, wisest looking person. Oldest,
Yeah, sure.
wisest
No,
looking person.
I meant what sort of information are you looking for?
Oh, I am looking for information on mostly weaving.
Weaving cloth in general, or someone that might actually know your discipline?
Yeah, probably that, or if they've heard of it.
Okay. It's gonna take you a while. I'm gonna have you make a. Well, that would be investigation because you are asking questions. You are moving about and trying to figure out who can give you the information because it might not actually be the first person that you encounter.
Okay, I'll roll for investigation.
And this is more to determine how much time it's going to take you to get the answer that I have.
Okay. Well, all right. That is 20, unnatural.
Natural 20? All right.
No, not
Okay,
natural.
unnatural 20. All right. Artificial 20. Yeah. That's it.
Artificial, yeah.
Interesting concept. All right, so it's going to be very fast. Valtteri, what do you do meanwhile?
I'm eating. And while I'm doing that, I will cast good berries.
All right.
What are you rolling, or do I have to roll?
2.
How many good berries I
I
get?
think I believe you can choose. It is up to. So you.
Anna?
I believe it is up to a point. So you can summon up to that point. There you go. Up to 10 berries appear in your hand. So you can choose. You can only summon 1, you can summon all 10.
And I still only use 1 spell slot?
Yes.
And I'll summon 10.
All
Yeah,
right.
they just expire after 24 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so a creature can use its action to eat 1 berry. Eating a berry restores 1 hit point, and the berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. So if you would eat this right now instead of buying a meal, you would be nourished for the entire day.
I was about to say scratch the breakfast.
All right.
I was
So
about to
you
say
all you would have need for then is water.
I have another food that too.
I looked it up. It is intentionally written nourishment, so it only provides food.
And I also have create or destroy water.
Yeah, you can use this to easily fill the water skin of everyone in the group who actually has a water skin.
Yeah, I'll do that. And after that I'll go rest again to get my spell slots back.
All right.
I don't know how long I have to rest.
Well, just so that you know, while you're in a village, or a town, or a city, it's fairly easy to find water. So you would all be able to fill your water skin pretty easily right now. create water, create to destroy water, would be useful for, let's say, midday, when you've exhausted all of your water reserve, and there might not actually be something around you to find water. So you can use it now, but right now you're in a village, and access to water is very easy. There's a well. Usually, all settlements have a water source.
Yeah, after the good berries, I go to the well and fill up my bottle.
All right. All right. Tobias, so you decide to ask around, find a person who might actually be able to know the most about your discipline. Well, with a 20, you don't have to spend a lot of time. You quickly find yourself near the temple of this little village, and you actually cross paths with Trevor, who is right now probably trying to haggle the price of what he's going to buy. So you can hear him in a corner of the temple trying to, well, we saved your town. You could give us, and yeah,
that's where I was going with it. Yeah.
So if you want to do this, I'm gonna have you make a persuasion roll with advantage, because you did make
me?
Yeah,
okay.
Quite a favor for me.
I'll just say hi to Trevor.
Just kind of nod or whatever. Still. Oh, it's not bad. Like 16. Oh, hold on. So double check. I think my persuasion's decent. Oh, okay. No, that's like 17.
17.
Oh, it was a
All
3.
right.
It's a 4. All right.
All right. So yeah, you did provide quite a service, and the town doesn't have to relocate. So he is ready to give you the incense and aromatic herbs that you need for 5 gold instead of 10. It's half price, 50%.
We could have let the creature just destroy your city. I have 9 silver to my name.
You have 9 silver. All right. Well, first of all, he's going to just evaluate you, and I have a feeling if you're telling the truth about 9 silver. So do you really have 9 silver on you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
9 silver and 7 copper. You can look at my thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm damn near broke. He don't give a shit. He'll turn his coin purse out and just dump it on the desk or whatever there. Say, look, this is what I got.
All right. Well, in that case, he's going to tell you, all right. Well, I do have to replace them at some point, whatever I give you. So how about you help me with today's ceremony, and I'm gonna give the incense to you. You don't have to do much. You just have to help him prepare everything for everyone.
He's just kind of roll his eyes and say, all right, fine.
All right. So everyone's going to be here in about... Right now you all got up pretty early because most of you slept a whole lot. So I'd say everyone's going to be here in roughly an hour. So you're stuck in this village for an additional hour. Tobiyashi, you actually do find someone at the temple who seems to be quite knowledgeable of the world around you. It's an half-elf human. Looks to be getting in his later stage of years. It's always important to give words in the right order. He is in his later, you know what I mean. He is getting old, but he's not old. All right. So, what question exactly are you going to ask him?
I was gonna ask him if there is if he has heard, well, first, if he's heard of my tradition, then secondly, if he has seen anybody make silk weapons. Blah, 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 blah.
Weapons made out of silk. Well, of course, the reason why you do feel you can talk to him is because he has heard of your monastic tradition. So he looks at you and says, "Well, yes, I've heard about this monastic tradition of yours. I did spend a little bit of time in a temple a few years ago. We actually got to meet a small party of your particular discipline. I haven't had a lot of chance to talk to them. I mostly saw a bit of what they could do. They were there to help with information gathering mostly. Their unique talent always seemed to be very well fitting for information gathering, especially in cities, because there's a lot of place where you can just grab something and swing on to the next building, or just go up above the building. As far as weapon goes, well, I've seen one. I've seen one use the silk in a very similar way as a whip, as you would a whip. And I've seen one tie a dart to the end of their cloth and use it as some sort of ranged weapon that they could just throw and pull back. But I've never seen anyone use this as a weapon in any other way. Of course, you can sometimes see them use them defensively to grapple people, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Sorry for bothering you. I'll bow and then leave to meet up with Trevor, wherever he's at.
Oh, he's stuck there for an hour, so he's not far.
Okay.
So,
You did, Trevor.
So, just so that you know, Tobiyashi, a rope dart would be the same thing, game mechanic wise. It would be the same thing as a whip, except it would make piercing damage instead of the normal damage of the whip.
Okay.
Yeah. Trevor will say, I'm stuck here for a little bit. I have to help them set this up, and say it in that kind of tone there.
When he says this, he's looking at a few cloths that have been just folded. He needs to place them. A few bowls. And there's a little pack of incense that he needs to place.
Okay. I will. After seeing that, I'll say, well, you have fun with that. I'm gonna go to the blacksmith if there is one. I'm gonna look for.
Depends on what you want to do. There is someone who is proficient with metal manipulation, but if you want to have something made that is a little bit more complex, like armors or weapons, no, you're not gonna find anyone.
Yeah, I'll just go for metal manipulation, stuff like that.
All right. Yes, it is one of the main buildings in town. So there is, when you get there, you see a little corner where there is an anvil, and a place where you can melt as best as you can the metal. There's also a little workshop for someone who might be working with wood. This is what you see in the workshop. There's actually someone there right now, a human, still very young, maybe exactly 20 or maybe a year younger.
Hello there. I was wondering if you could help me with this, and I'll take out the shield from my backpack.
Oh, all right. What exactly do you want me to do with it?
Okay, I'll show him like where the handle is, well, like how you explained it. It's wooden, right?
Okay.
So, I'll explain to him that I want him to, like, cut off either ends, and if he can, attach two. I don't know how to explain it. Like rings to each of the nubs that are left.
Okay.
You could do that.
Yeah. It's a bit. It's a bit of a complex operation that you want. It's going to take me maybe 1 or 2 hours. I'll need my. I'll need my brother to help me. He's the one that works with the wood, so he's a bit better than me at working with the wood. And meanwhile, of course, I can find a way to make 2 rings to attach to this. So maybe just give us 1 or 2 hours. He's going to be back shortly, but you know.
Okay, the best you could do is appreciate it, and I'll see you in 1 to 2 hours. Then I'll bow and head back to the tavern.
Okay. All right. Our paladin is currently, if you go back to the tavern, well, you're gonna meet with audience, who is looking very cheerful as usual. Still talking with the owner of the establishment about the previous day, the festivities, and he seems to have a little glow to his humor today. He seems to be in a very radiant mood, if you pardon the pun for a paladin.
So he's sitting at the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eating a hearty meal, as he always
right.
does.
I'll go up to him and say, well, you seem to be having a nice day.
Yes, my friend, it is a very nice day. I have been visited by the dragons in my sleep. They have granted me even more than I had before, and all of this because of the great deeds that we have performed.
Like they came here?
Well, they reached out to me while I was sleeping.
So they grabbed you while you were sleeping?
Oh, I guess if you can understand it better like this, sure, why not?
And I'll say, well, I'm happy for you, and I'll be outside training if you need me for about an hour.
All right. Yeah. I might actually join you.
Okay. Train with him.
Yeah. All right, Valtteri. What do you want to do? You apparently have an hour and a half before the group starts moving. So, what do you want to do?
Good question. I don't know it myself. Let me check What else I
You
have in
don't
my
have to
inventory?
do anything. You could just say that you go outside and contemplate nature in all of its beauty, and you're a druid. No one's gonna ask a question if you just do something very hippie.
I can smoke weed. I can do protests. Okay.
You can surely walk about this village and see if
Just walk
there.
around hugging all the trees, just
No, but you're a druid. You could easily just walk about and see if there are any advice that you can give this village so that they can better integrate with nature. Go talk to the animals. I believe you could have this ability.
Sure, I'll just.
You could go talk to the animals, ask them if they are well taken care of, if they're happy, if they know what it means when they go to the inside pasture.
I'll just walk around in town and look around. I don't know.
All right.
She's as tired as I am. Her mentally, me physically.
All right. So the hour go by relatively fast, except for Trevor, who is bored out of his mind doing priestly duties.
Well, while I'm setting up, I'll just ask him just to pass the time. So what do you think of dragons being gods?
Well, I imagine you're referring to what your friend keeps talking about.
Exactly.
Well, there are a number of draconic gods, but normal dragons, those you can sometimes see when you look up at the sky, I mean, they're powerful, yes, and a lot of dragonborns up north consider them natural nobles, especially the kinder ones. But I think he's exaggerating a little bit. Maybe he's
A bit.
his things. Quite honestly, I don't want have someone as large as him as an enemy, but feels like he might actually just be following a cult and not an actual religion. Have you ever seen him use a darker powers? You know the type.
Not yet.
Okay.
But, I mean, no offense, but all gods seem to have an agenda, and a dragon that's looking to seek to become a god definitely has an agenda. So, yeah, I'm very suspicious of that. I will be looking more into it. I'm just passing time, getting another opinion of it while we're doing this.
And of course, if you don't mind me saying, I did notice that he is very careful about mentioning what kind of dragon his lord is.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to really talk to him about that yet. I don't know myself yet, but just the fact that a dragon's looking to become a god is a definite red flag for me.
Yeah. But regarding the comment that you gave about all gods having their own agendas, yes, of course. Every god has his own worries and his own followers, but some have very noble goals.
But they just inherently having an agenda gives them a certain bias.
Well, you do know there are a lot of different gods out there. Those that are the most known are usually those who have the most straightforward agendas. Gods of light are usually there to push back the darkness. God of orders are usually there to just make sure that everything runs smoothly. And there are, of course, gods which are a little bit less.
Yeah.
Gods of darkness who will do what they can to push back the light. Gods of chaos, which would gladly have society fall into complete anarchy. But I've also heard about less known gods, and usually those are the most interesting ones. Because some of them actually have goals which not a lot of people will find attainable. Take this god, for example, and he turns around and he goes where all the gods are, and it's a temple to the god of light, to the the faith of light. So he goes really at the back of this little shrine and takes a small stone effigy, and honestly, when you look at it, it just looks like the eyes portion of a raccoon. So it's basically just sort of a mask. This god, for example, no one ever prays to him because he's never going to try and make you known. He is called the god of the unsung heroes. Those who die performing great deeds and are never known or even hated for the heroic things they do. You will never meet one of their priests trying to gain attention. Not a lot of people will worship a god like this.
Yeah, I could see why.
He just takes the effigy back to where it was, place it where it was.
Just walk around, just generally, get a little bit of a religion history here. What about this one? What about this one? You don't have to go through all of them. Just passing time as we're setting stuff up.
So what you would easily gather with this is that this shrine is mostly from the god of light.
Would I recognize the one that we went over way back when? I haven't my pinned messages, the ever changing or whatever. Would he be showing up in there? The one for performers and all that. I would have known with Woe.
Yes, but not prominently. He would be considered, and
that'd probably be one of the lesser ones. Yeah.
Well, because the most important part of his alignment is more about being ever changing. He is considered an ally of the light, but not from the faith of light. I think that's what I told you last time. Well, I'll check just to make sure. But so this would mean that you would find an effigy to this god in this place, but it would not be in a prominent place.
Alright. Let me go back. I have this pin. Aguna? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Did I?
No.
Oguna, yes. Oguna, the ever-changing.
Okay. I just wanted to know if he would be present there. And as we're walking around, I'm like, I actually recognize this one. I traveled in a caravan.
All right, yeah.
A while back, and
well, Okay. He
Traveled
would
with
be
a
an
bard.
ally. He would be an
he-
ally of many travelers. So, like I said, not even an ally of the fate of light. He would. His fate would be that of. Hold on. Can I find this? No, that's not. That's gonna be too long to find. All right. I'll tell you exactly which
I,
fate it is.
I sent the entire description that you sent me. I just sent it to you in my last message, the
Yeah.
private message there. So, if you want a quick summary, what you gave me.
Yeah, I have the name of the god with me. It's just. Yeah.
Yep.
It's exactly what I have with
Okay.
me. So he is more of a he has more of a chaotic nature, but
Mhm.
because he is welcoming and found very easily while traveling, especially for wandering performers, and usually you will find a lot of bard worshipping this, and in villages usually bards are welcome because they provide a change of pace for everyone living in the town, a little bit of adventure, a little bit of story, a bit what audience did during Quiet Night. So it makes sense that they would include gods that are favorable to wandering performers. But since he is not from the Fate of Light, he wouldn't be placed prominently inside the shrine.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll mention that to him and say, yeah, I actually know this one. I traveled in a caravan for quite a while and was close friends with a bard that followed him and helped me find my creative side and pull out his children's book. Not show him the cover that it's a children's book and just be like, I'm a creature of study, so gods really aren't my thing, but he did help me find my creative side with painting, actually. He could play pretty much any instrument. Music wasn't my thing, but he did help me find the creative part to me.
Well, if you travel in caravans before, and especially with bards, it would make sense that you wouldn't know this god. And it's mostly why you'd find at least one effigy to a god that traveling performers would recognize, because we actually want to welcome them, so long as they don't fall into the less respectable side of the deity that they chose to follow. Children likes mischief, but it doesn't help to run a town if there's too much of it.
Yeah, that's just probably the one I relate closest to at the moment, but I still try and look at everything objectively and logically without any kind of influence. So, religion typically isn't usually a wizard's forte.
Well, even wizards. I would even expect that wizards, before many others, would at least have to acknowledge the existence of gods, because they usually try
they
to
definitely exist. Buy in their stories is another discussion altogether.
Oh, well, I don't know why, but you remind me of something that someone once told me a long time ago, and you'd seem to maybe confirm this. The things that we hate the most about others, it's usually what we hate the most about ourselves. Maybe you have hidden agendas of your own, being a user of magic. He does have a little smirk when he says that.
I'll just give a smirk back. Touche.
All right, so You spend a few more minutes talking to him.
Yeah, we can wrap that up. Yeah, and it looks like Valtyrie's gone for the episode 2. Her network cable seems to burn through. Talking
monk in the maid.
Discord there. So, yeah, unless audience gets his fixed, yeah,
Wow.
we're down to 2 for the rest of the session.
All right, so sorry to everyone
Story
who
of
is
Monk in the
watching.
Maid.
We seem to have trouble with our connections and internet. So, all right. So Tobiyashi, you spent the next hour training with audience. He does come maybe after 20-25 minutes. Come back outside, start training with you. Meanwhile, Trevor, you finish with the ceremony. And you eventually all reconvene in the center of town very easily, unless you actually want to meet back to the inn. But right now, Tobiyashi and audience are practicing outside of the inn, I would hope.
It's been an hour, yeah, outside of the inn.
Which means, Trevor, you are most likely going to meet them as you come back to the inn, see them practicing outside. And Valtteri didn't say she was going to go very far away from the inn, so you'd probably notice her walking a bit in a daze, pondering about everything around her, nature, you, and once in a while she looks at you funny, and then she looks at the ground, and you notice that there is a small pothole that wasn't there before. And she looks at this and seems to talk to the hole in the ground, and then go back to whatever she was doing.
Alright, well, guess as Trevor passes audience and Toby will say, how much longer do you guys think you're going to be with this? Can you go for another hour?
Well, we could, but how long has it been since I left you?
Yeah. How long did it take how long did it take me to help him set up the temple
Like I said,
or whatever?
About an hour, maybe 55
Oh,
minutes
so-
to an hour.
About what time is it today?
Right now it would be something like 9 in the morning.
Okay. It's still fairly early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I got my compensation. It's not much, but I can at least get Tal back, so I wanted to go ahead and get this over with before we leave.
okay, well, I have to just go pick up the shield from young blacksmith, if you could wait.
That's fine. I'm going to be in the inn summoning Tal. It takes an hour, so I'll be in there if you need me.
Okay. And I'll head over to check on my shield.
All right.
The audience, if he wants to come along.
He doesn't have a lot to do, so yeah, sure. He's going to follow you. But halfway there, he's going to just veer off and start talking to his loyal followers who have come back and ask him for more about the dragons. And you just start talking about the dragons to them, and you see that you've completely lost his attention.
Wow. Alright. I'll just keep heading to the blacksmith. He should have himself.
So, you get to the blacksmith. You see him in the maybe last few moments of preparing what you just asked for. So he sees you enter, and you see him sweating a little bit. There is a brazier nearby that he's using to just keep the metal soft. And you see him with 2 clamps trying to close the 2 rings that he just placed on the shield. He does take a few minutes. Are you interrupting him, or?
No, I'll just watch quietly until he's done. Just like
So,
stalking him.
yeah.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, just for the record, I put in the chat there that if Sam or if audience or Val wanted to do anything, just type it in the chat and I'll pass it on to you because I know you don't have it up, where you can read it instantly. So,
Yeah, okay.
all right. Sorry,
No,
sorry to interrupt there.
It's relevant information, so I do not mind.
Yeah.
All right. So it does take maybe 10 minutes before he just put everything down and he's looking at this, just taking the shield, turning it a little bit, jiggling. Well, it looks like it's done. I can't say that I've ever done this before. Oh, good timing. Unless you've been standing there for a very long time. In that case, nice seeing you.
Well, it wasn't that long.
Oh, okay.
I walk up and I'll say, "How much is that gonna be?" You didn't tell me before I left.
Well, it's not gonna be a lot. I just took 2 chain links out of a broken chain that I had, so it's mostly just the time for that it took to make it. So we can sell this maybe for, I don't know, 2 silver.
Okay. I'll give him 2 silver.
All right, thanks. It'll do. And I hope this is what you wanted. Gives you the shield. The wooden handle at the center has been removed, and holes have been made on each side of this handle where the rings for the that you ask to be put in their place is just pressed inside, and there's a little bit of wiggle room. It's not completely airtight, but
Oh yeah, what I was looking for. I'll say thank you very much. This is exactly what I was looking for, and I'll bow to him and say have a great day, and I'll head on out and try to find audience because I need him now.
well, I'd say make a perception roll to see how fast you find him.
Okay.
It's not a big town, and he's talking pretty loudly usually, so it's really just to see how much time you're going to take to find him.
Okay. Well, that's not good. That is.
It finds him like at
That's a
dusk.
5.
Just a 5? Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so you take the better part of the hour to find him, always looking somewhere, and whenever you get to a place, someone told me he was here. You just missed him. He went to the farm over there. Someone wanted him to just tell the story again of everything that happened to his children because they couldn't be there during the night. And you get there and someone says, you just missed him. You went back into town.
Oh my
So you
gosh.
spend maybe 40 minutes chasing after the clues that practically leads you back to the inn where you are greeted by audience. Just as he is about
okay,
to enter.
I will.
You got a 5, so...
What is how much more time do we have before another hour is up?
With the time that you took to find him and the time that you waited, probably just as you arrive, you can hear Trevor coming downstairs from where you slept and entering the lower part of the tavern. He seems to be done. And Trevor, do you have Tao with you?
Yeah, since it took since we took the hour, but yeah, when he came in too, I was going to say we get to RP it, but
Yeah, sure.
he was going being annoyed at this whole situation. He was going to like aggressively throw that into the fire, like sidearm it like a baseball, and just sit there and probably not even sit down, just stand up through the whole hour ritual of casting it and just get this done so we can get out of here.
So you basically...
But yeah, he would have Tal with him. Yeah.
So you basically spend 1 hour mumbling the incantation to yourself, half enraged by this, mostly annoyed. All right.
Yeah. And I guess as he sees Toby, and said audience is with him now too. He finally found him, and they're together.
Yeah, and as you summon Tao back, you do have a telepathic link to Tao, so you get this feeling of delayed reaction, as in the last thing that he thought when he saw this arrow arriving. Because the moment that he materialized in front of you, you feel, you don't hear him say this, but you feel the feeling that you'd easily identified with, not again.
I would just say, yeah, I'm getting tired of this shit too. This cult is getting on my nerves. And pick him up, put him on his shoulder, and then there's Toby at audience as he sees them. It's like, can we leave now and stop playing hero and get to our appointment, and try not to get any further behind?
I have no problem with that. I got my shield. Everything I need to do is done, so I'll follow you.
All right.
Audience says that his lord is happy with what he has done, so he feels content to keep on going to our meeting at the garden.
Yeah. Trevor will say I've picked up a few new spells in my experience here, so I'd say better equipped. Let's just try and avoid some cities, take a more direct path, and see if we can get there a little quicker.
Okay, you want to see if we could try to find a cart? Maybe a faster means of getting there? If not, they don't need it anymore. I mean, they're staying here now.
Well, faster means... the cart is not going to be faster. However...
Horses.
It is going to be less tiring. And it would give someone like Trevor or Valtteri the chance of making ritual cast as you are traveling.
Mm-hmm.
That can easily be arranged. And Trevor would probably be able to use Tao more easily to scout ahead.
Okay, well, I'll talk to them on... Be like, well, so we have these options. We could either get horses or buy one carriage. Or carriage, wagon.
Let's see.
Unless you guys want to boot it.
Well, I guess, let's see how far the next town is, and maybe we could borrow some horses and just leave them at the next town just to make up a little time here.
Okay,
and get somebody to bring them back, because I'm sure they communicate.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, sure. Alright, you want to buy a cart?
Well, how far is the next town?
The next town. Hold on, I have my map here.
I don't mind going to a town for that to make up a little time if we can get some horses and do it.
Actually,
be in agreement to that.
The next stop on this road that you're taking is a town. It is the town of Forgem. The last hold on here. Forgem is the last town of the duchy in which you are right now. So after that point, you would be entering the neighboring duchy.
Okay. Spell that town for me one time.
Forgem. Forgem.
Forgem. Okay. Gotcha.
And how far are duchies usually far?
From where you are, roughly a day. You'd probably get there as the sun is starting to set, because right now it's almost 10 o'clock.
Okay.
That's on foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is
So
a
at least still
town. It
got
is
that.
not. It is not a village. So it is a trade center. So you would easily be able to buy horses, cart, sell whatever material you wish to sell. It is a town. They are equipped for trading.
Okay.
All right. So we'll talk that over, and I'll say. So what's the plan, Trevor?
Well, we can still get there by foot in a day, so it's up to you guys. If you want to hoof it, we can try to see. And I'm sure they have a connection there, somebody in this village. So we might be able to borrow a couple of horses just to get there quick and make up a little time. We'll see. I'll go see if I can talk to somebody about that. He'll ask the barkeep, since I guess we're all still in the inn. Who could he talk to about making that arrangement? Borrow a couple of horses to run to the next town, and they can have somebody bring them back the next day or something, just to help us make up for a little time.
Nosy barkeep.
Okay.
And since that's a trade town, then we could talk about actually buying stuff there. So
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, being a village, it's a bit more rare that they actually have something that they can just give up like this. But
for a day, if you have a connection there, we can mention your name. They can shuttle them back tomorrow morning. We just
It'll be
want to
fun.
make up a little time.
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's going to be someone coming back here because the only two close option from the town of Forgem is this village here or one to the south of the forest. So, of course, there's going to be someone coming back here, and
Yeah.
well,
We
you
can
did okay.
maybe just 2 horses. You can double up if it's a relatively short trip.
Make a persuasion roll, and I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay, I'm gonna say still savior of the town advantage there. So yeah.
Yep.
All right. Oh, not 20. So it's 26. 25. No, sorry. 24. Sorry. Plus 4 for persuasion. Okay.
All right. So he looks at you a little bit and says, "Well, yeah. I guess we can trust you." And he looks at audience, who sort of pushes that into a little bit more. He's easily recognizable, honorable person, and audience does promise that the horse will come back. They will find someone who needs to make a trade with the town, with the village of Twern, so you're going to be just sending back
promise
the
we
horses
won't
with
eat it for dinner. It'll come back.
it. It's a good thing you didn't say that before you rolled.
Yeah, instant disadvantage then. Yeah.
So, well, of course you would have said that, and you would have also looked at audience. So,
Yeah.
all right, so sure, all right. And because of everything, because of audience, sure. So he's ready to loan you 2 horses. So I hope you don't have to travel excessively packed. Otherwise, it's those poor
Pretty much
horses
what
there.
we're carrying. So yeah, it'll be a fairly light load.
All
Pulls
right.
out the book from my bag. No, just
All right. So yeah, sure. You can have the 2 horses. Make sure that someone really does take them back here because they're the only
Do you
spare
have a
horse
specific
that we have.
person
Sorry.
Do you have a specific person there that we would need to look for to hand them off to that you would trust?
Todd.
Yeah, sure. He says near the entrance of the town of Forgem, just behind the wall that they have. It's not a wall for defense. It's really just to limit the center of town. But it's very close to the entrance in which you're going to be. There is an elder dwarf. He often makes trades with us, so if you can find him, just tell him that the horses belong to us. He'll get them back to us in his next trade. The poor fellow is called that's a horrible name. Next one on the list. Sorry, I'm really not good at names, and I often do this. I create a name, and then I listen to it again and say, wow, this is not going to be a good name. So we're going to go with... wow, I'm bad at dwarven names. That sounds like a cave-in. Here we go. Sorry. Why do I have trouble saying it? Dorthtotr. I don't know why, but I can't pronounce it right now.
Or?
Dorthator? Dorthotor? Is that what you said? Right. Dorthator. That's how I'm pronouncing it.
All right. He's gonna recognize himself.
Right. Good enough.
Sometimes names are easier to pronounce in French than in English.
And when you're trying to make up a name for a made-up race, it's just pronounce it, however you want. It's a made-up name. So.
Yeah, still, when I make names, I usually try and give them something that sounds like something the race would have. But and you look at your list and you look at, the next name on the list is. That sounds an awful lot like dork. I can't say that. Alright, so...
Alright. Okay, well, I got a name and where to find him. Secured 2 horses. So who wants to drive?
Oh yes, this is going to be interesting. Well, of course, Valtteri would like to drive. Yeah. She likes horses.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I definitely see that her. Yeah, I was checking everybody's sheets. Her animal handling's the highest, so she's definitely one driver. Sadly, mine is the next highest.
So you are the 2 drivers. So the question is, who goes with who? I would probably have to say that audience will have to go with the lightest of you 2, which I believe is Trevor.
Yeah, definitely, I would say.
So, Trevor, you have audience for 3/4 of a day riding with you. A little bit more joyful than you're used to having him.
And as we're going, I said, just keep it to yourself, please. But I'll save that for...
when he's actually there?
Yeah, when he's actually here, because during the trip, since I'm stuck with him for half a day, he was going to ask him about his dragon friend and all that. So we'll save that for next session if he doesn't make it tonight. We can we can retcon that if you want.
Well,
retcon.
Actually, right now, Well, actually, right now, as things are going, I'm pretty sure that neither Valtteri or audience is going to be able to
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, this is what happened with the internet from time to time.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. College dorms and all. Yep.
So one-shot side quest? No, just kidding. The monk and the
Yeah.
wizard.
No combat tonight, I think. Yeah. but yeah, I'll save that for next session.
we can easily say
backtrack on that.
we can easily say that you feel he is way too joyful right now to get into talking about dragons.
All right. So do I
You
need
have-
to make an animal handling check to make sure I don't get us thrown off the horse.
That would be a nice one. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I tell the audience before we start. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've been on a horse. Back when we were back with the caravan, so this might be a little rough until I get the hang of this again. Oh, not bad. That's 15 plus 3, so 18. Okay.
Okay,
Actually got a plus 3 in animal handling, surprisingly.
So the only one who actually has proficiency in animal handling
That's
is
Valtteri.
Valtteri.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I'm not gonna make her do a proficiency check to make sure that the horse doesn't leave running, because I put the DC at an extremely low point, and
Mm,
yeah, she basically has a minimum of 7, so I'm pretty sure she
yeah. She could speak with animals and calm it down beforehand, tell it what she wants to do.
So Trevor, how much did you roll, you said?
It was 15 plus 3,
15.
so 18. 18 in all.
Yeah, you do get the feeling that the horse finds audience a little bit heavy, but otherwise it seems to work.
Right. I'll try and keep it going at a brisk pace to, hopefully not try and get there before it gets too tired from
All right.
audience on there.
So, let's see. Do I have... Yes, I have it up. And this dice and this dice.
Yeah, I can't remember how fast horses travel, so yeah, I was curious on how long it actually takes us to get there.
Try that.
Well, horses will travel roughly at the same pace as a human, unless you want to push them harder. But
Well, I said a brisk pace, so not like a full-on gallop, but, fast walking pace, almost a jog,
yeah, funny fact. A trained human can actually keep a jogging pace longer than a horse. So
Okay, so same amount of time, I guess, but we're not tired when we get
yes,
there.
exactly. The horse is tired, but you are not.
No exhaustion.
So yes, the horses are tired, but you are not. And you get there very easily. You enter into the forest.
So we need to combat and get our horses killed on the way there.
Do
I,
it.
I just
Well,
rolled.
that's dinner.
That's one way of looking at it. But actually, you roll. I just made a roll for encounter because I bailed an encounter table. That's nice.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
With only 2 people here, glad you didn't have one.
I mean, it'd work out. Don't worry.
Well, to be fair, I didn't only include hostile encounter in my table.
It could have just been a passing caravan or something.
Could have been another passing caravan. Could have been just someone, something. But no, the day goes by very peacefully. The sky looks clear. As you walk through the forest, you do feel a bit of the humidity left from probably a midnight rain that occurred, so it's a bit slushy when you travel through some parts of the woods. But other than that, it's fairly uneventful day of travel. And as the day slowly starts to get old, you come out of the forest and you start seeing the town of Forgem in the horizon. You are confident that you are going to be able to make it before the sun sets.
All right. Yeah, and I guess as it doesn't matter now, but
Yeah.
Trevor would have Tal scouting ahead, as we were trotting along,
Yes,
But
it's a good thing.
doesn't matter now since there's no encounters, but yeah, just for
Sure.
flavor's sake, he would be having him look ahead,
All right.
waiting for a goblin to shoot him down
All right.
again.
Yeah. He is also getting tired of this. And you did get the sense that when you summoned him, you got the last thought that he had as he saw this arrow coming toward him. Oh, not again.
Again, shit.
We're going out again.
All right, so as the sun starts to set, you arrive in the town of Forgem. It is a bit larger town than the village that you've come across so far. A few more houses. Even at this time of the day, you can actually see people walking in the street, going from one commerce to the next. Some are actually still open. You see light coming from one of the building, actually strong light coming from one of the building inside town. You hear a little bit of merriment. You hear laughing coming from that building. You do encounter a few people in a hurry, and you are brushed very surprisingly, because you only feel it on your toes, by a Sharoon wearing brown clothes, hurrying to the other side of the town, it would seem.
Sharoon, those are the mushroom hat
Yeah.
ones, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, I recognize these guys. Does he stop or anything, or does he just keep on running by or whatever? Or
He is alone, and he just kept on going. His hat just brushed slightly on the side of one of your leg as he went by.
yeah, he won't try and stop him or anything. And I remember those guys. I guess he'll ride up. Are there any like guards or anything around, or somebody more official that can kind of point me to this wall or anything, or is it pretty obvious where it's at? Do I see it when we get into town?
Oh yes,
Like
it's
it's
the wall. The wall is probably waist high for you.
Okay.
Well, since you're on a horse, foot high, but
Okay. All right. Yeah, I guess we'll just head straight there, and I'll see if I can find an elderly-looking dwarf anywhere.
So yeah,
I'll keep a lookout for one too.
you do cross on your way someone perched on what looked like a wooden watchtower. It's not something made for war. It's really just something made to watch the forest, make sure nothing comes out of it running towards them. So there's a guard there. Looks a bit bored.
And he's like, do you know where we might be able to find a elderly dwarf by the name of Dorthor?
Yeah, something like that.
Dorthatar? Yeah.
Yeah, you're not the only one having problem with how his name's supposed to be pronounced. Yeah, sure. He's the second house. If you just keep on going uh, on the street, it's you can't miss it.
All right, thank you. And continue on down to his house. Just kind of motion. So, I don't know if they're close enough to hear me talk to him or whatever, but motion to Toby and Val to
He gives a small
follow on.
nod.
Yeah.
He gives a small
Yeah.
nod to each of you as you go by.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
and we'll just head to his house and knock on him. Is he outside or on or anything? Any light on the inside?
You see, it's a modest house. It's not a big house in any means. It's a really modest house. You get the feeling just by looking at the house that he probably doesn't spend a lot of time in this house. But you see a faint light coming from the only window facing where you are. It is made of stone, so it stands out a little bit more. But just looking at the mason of it, you are pretty sure that most of this is... He probably brought the stone himself, or mined them himself.
Yeah, dwarf. Yeah, for sure.
That's what he looks like.
Trevor will dismount and walk up and knock on the door.
Alright. So it takes a few moments, and then you hear something moving inside. You hear, yes?
Yeah, this is Trevor. We just came from Twern. Is that the last time we were in?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's Trevor from Twern. We borrowed a couple of horses from them to get here, and we were told to drop them off to a Dorothatar in Forgem here. It said you could take care of them and make sure they get back safely.
Alright, so you hear a few footsteps, and then you hear the door unlock. The door opened. Oh. Yeah, I know people from that village. It's quaint. Close to the mountains. Nice view.
Yeah, we just came from there. They had a bad goblin problem, and among other things, that we took care of it for them. So they loaned us these horses to continue on our travels to make up for a little bit of time. But they said you could be trusted to return them safely. So,
well, that's very kind of them.
there they are.
That's very kind of them. They wouldn't have happened to include a few copper or silver with this, huh?
No, but I can spare a few. I'll give him like 3 copper. I don't have a whole lot.
I was gonna say I could give it to him.
All right, I'll let you do it then, because
Yeah.
I'm damn near broke.
I'll actually give him I'll give him 1 silver.
Oh. Alright, well, at least it's going to buy feed for the animals. Yeah, alright. I can bring them back next time I go there. I hope they don't expect this back tomorrow, because I still have a little bit of... I'm not ready to go back there right now.
Okay, it should be fine.
As long as they get back safely, I'm sure they can survive a day or two, if need be, without them. Since any threat that was around is gone for the time being. This is our first time here. We're the more interesting trade post at. Is there anybody here that deals with magical items? I got a couple of these that I'd like to get rid of, and he'll pull out one of those daggers,
Yeah.
just to show him.
It's,
Anybody that might be interested in one of these?
I don't know, it looks untrustworthy. But yeah, well, you're a bit late for trading right now. You might actually find someone still open, but yeah, sure. We got someone that makes potions around. We actually have a blacksmith, and his daughter just came back from magic school, and she started to help him give enchanted object. And
Quite the magic user myself, so yeah, definitely check them out for sure.
all right. There's we have. I can't believe I'm gonna. Oh boy. All right. Well, we actually have an elf who's in town. He comes by every once in a while. And he sells good quality bows. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know you guys tend to like your hammers. Yeah, I understand that.
Also, I step from behind Trevor. Would you happen to know anywhere that sells clothing?
Well, of course. It's a depends on what sort of clothing you're looking for, but yeah, sure. This is the last trading village in the Duchy of Albesta. So yeah, you're gonna have a lot of things that are about to leave or that came from the neighboring territory. So yes, we have people who will buy and sell, and we actually have a caravan of those small dudes with the hats. They've been here for a few days. If no one wants to buy or sell what you want to buy or sell, maybe they will.
Yeah.
Did they, just for Valtteri's sake, I was like, did they travel in with those big beasts that they, I've encountered them before. They had these huge elephant-like creatures.
Yeah, they're packed animals.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two of them at the other exit of town.
Okay.
Well,
And Trevor looked at the group. Do you want to try and upload anything tonight, or you just want to just do it in the morning? I mean, it's kind of late already, you know. And I don't think anybody's leaving out of town tonight, are they?
Valtteri does look a little tired. She just looks at you and says,
Yeah. Well, like, no caravan or vendor is going to be leaving through the night and traveling, are they? They'll probably wait until in the morning, asking the dwarf.
Of course. Right before the sunset, and yeah, no one's gonna leave this this town. There's going to be, of course, more people coming in tomorrow morning. And I believe the merchant caravan from those little fellows is going to leave sometime during the day tomorrow. So you're gonna have a lot of time.
Okay.
okay. Well, I'm okay with that. I could get what I need tomorrow and get everything situated.
Yeah, suggest we just find room and board for the evening and just reconvene in the morning.
I'll ask the dwarf. Do you know where we could have a night's rest?
Sure. There's a very popular inn, just maybe 2 or 3 minutes from here. You can't miss it. There's a lot of light coming out of it. The sign just in front of it is a shield with a dragon head painted on it.
Okay.
It's not owned by Dragonborns. Don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say when he says dragon head, I'll say dragon. Yeah,
Dragon.
Elaborate on that.
Don't worry. It's just an adventurer that came from the north that established its inn here. He just decided that it was a very nice imagery. Said it was inspired by something he saw in the actual capital of the Dragonborn. thought it was nice.
Right.
But the inn itself, is simply called the Chromatic Dragon. So
Chromatic dragon. Interesting.
Hmm.
But yeah, our paladin here, I'm sure he sees him towering over me. He's like, he has a thing for dragons, so I'm sure he'll have something to talk about with the innkeeper there.
as you say that and you look at audience, his attention is already on the inn.
I'm sure. See that dragon head, and he's tunnel vision right to that.
Suddenly the world fades, everything turns to black, and all you can see is
Yep.
the insignia of the inn dangling in the night.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, and glad we could trust you with these horses. Yeah, glad they had a connection here, and bid you a good evening.
Thank you. That's very generous.
Good evening. I bow.
And yeah, same thing for you.
Yeah.
Good evening to you too, and have a nice meal.
All right. I guess we will head to the end of the chromatic.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And Trevor's just looking at the logo as we walk in, just kind of gives a little eye. I'm sure he's probably, well, I don't know, audience might push him out of the way and lead the way on this one, but yeah, I was going to say Trevor, he head there and kind of roll his eyes.
Audience, I would say, happily walks inside this inn.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably made sure he went in first on this one.
Yeah, went in first and went in making noise. And as you get closer, you get the idea of why he called it the Chromatic Dragon, even though it actually does have a bit of a bad reference for those who actually know Dragon, because the colors on it are the colors of the Chromatic Dragons. There is around the eyes, it's black. The back of the dragon, as it is drawn, is blue. The wings, you don't see the wings attached to anything, but you just see the wings unfolded behind the head. They're green, so it's all the colors.
Just stuck with red, white, black, green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right.
All right.
So you enter this inn, and we're going to take the break right now.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
All right.
So this is the background for break. All right. So meet you all back in 10 minutes. We're gonna see if we can get lucky and have at least one other player who comes back. Otherwise, well, it's only going to be the three of us. So, see you all back in 10 minutes. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. So,
Hey.
as you can see, there is still a problem with our druid, who is still frozen where she was. We learned that basically her equipment just died. Cable burned, so she is not going to be able to rejoin us tonight, as she will probably have to replace some of the equipment that was just damaged. As for our paladin, well, he is still having problem with the internet, and all of this culminates into the wonderful world of doing live broadcast over the internet. So it looks like it's mostly going to be talking, negotiating, and very easy fights, if any.
Yep, it's the adventures of the T-Team, Trevor and Toby.
Oh yeah.
Well,
The
that's
double
always
M team,
that's
too.
always
The bunch
interesting
of the mage.
because it's TNT now.
Yep, pretty much. Dynamite.
Yeah. My name is Double T Double M.
All right. So you all enter this inn, which is like I said, the Chromatic Dragon. And as you enter, you can see why for the image, and also a bit why it's sort of appropriate in a very larger sense to call this a chromatic environment, as when you get in, you see a lot of people from different backgrounds. You see a few dwarves in one table. You see a few dragonborns. You also see a table of Sharoon in one corner. Of course, there are humans. Most of the people inside the inn are humans, as you are in human territory. You do see one or two elves walking about, going toward a small table completely at the back of the inn. There is already someone playing music. Looks like to be someone of elven heritage, most likely of half-elf. He is playing something joyful, but a little bit slow, just to give a little bit of ambiance. You even see in one corner a half-orc eating alone. Of course, immediately as you get in, audience enters the inn, starts evaluating the room and starts finding people to preach to, get more information, and mingle with those of his race.
Well, as we come in, Trevor notices all the color of that, and just as a tongue-in-cheek joke, because he doesn't know anything about audiences, dragon god yet or anything, just any of these colors familiar to you? But we'll just leave it at that, just as a tongue-in-cheek joke there, because he doesn't know. And at that, just leave it at that and just walk off to go find the barkeep to get his room for the night.
I'm going to find the barkeep for my room.
Most likely when you say that, audience, you sort of see in his eye, Trevor, you sort of see in his eyes that he doesn't make the connection with the sign of the inn and the name. He actually looks around in the room, and his gaze stops on the Dragonborns, and he just tells you, "Oh yeah, sure." Looking at the Dragonborns.
Alright, I wanted to see something here real quick.
Be helpful.
Yeah, I just posted it in chat for Valtteri real quick. But he'll get a room for the night first, but I was messaging to ask Valtteri if she would have given everybody a good berry, including Trevor at the moment there, so.
I'd say yes, because it sort of doesn't make sense for her to conjure 10 good berries if she's not going to share with the group. If it was just her, she would have...
If anything, she could have gave the group a couple of extras, and then somebody else could have gave me one if she was that pissed at me, so, yeah.
So since she did summon 10...
Fair enough.
It makes sense that she would have shared with everyone. And even if she's mad enough with you, she would have most likely given more than one to each of you. And dispelled is...
Yeah, so Toby could have passed one off to me or something, yeah. Okay, that works. All right, so he won't get dinner per se. He'll eat his good berry, and he's still probably got about half a bottle of that wine left, so he'll between those two he'll have his dinner, then just pay for a room for the night.
So it sort of gives a feeling of someone who is trying to eat with not a lot. So he has his good berry in one hand, feels like a
that's a bachelor's meal there.
It's
a good berry and a half a bottle
just
of wine.
Just the image of this feels like someone enjoying half a bottle of wine and a Timbits as if it was his dinner.
Yeah, it's just like eating like a plate of like Cecina pizza rolls, or like a Pabst Blue Ribbon or something. Just
Magic pepperoni. So,
yep.
Magic pepperoni.
Tobiyashi, what do you do while you see Trevor savoring
Yeah, I'll
his
just be getting
good berry and his wine?
I will order my room, and I need to go to my room.
All right. Oh,
Say pop it like an aspirin and just chase it down with the wine or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, take it real quick.
take your medicine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll eat my good berry while I'm walking up the stairs.
All right.
Oh, and as you're walking off, I said, we're gonna have time to work on that the meditation stuff again tonight before we rest, or
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Anytime you're ready, you could come on up. I'm just gonna be working on this shield,
Okay.
and I'll show him the shield.
All right. Oh, cool. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. The more armaments, the more options, the better. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So for rooms, well, this is a bit of a bigger town, so you do have the poorest kind of room, but you also have room of well, not exactly comfortable, but good quality.
Okay.
In game term, this would mean you have choice between squalid, poor, or modest. So the worst room being 7 copper for the day, the poor one 1 silver, and the modest one 5 silver.
Well, I'll just take the 7 copper one just so I can get rid of this copper, and that'll just put me at 9 silver even. So.
All right.
I will do. Yeah, I'll just do the 7 silver one. 'Cause why not?
Silver or copper?
The 7 copper.
Silver.
Silver. It's
You said silver. Wait, which one was the modest one?
the modest one. It's silver, but it's 5 silver, not 7. The 7
Okay.
is copper. 7 copper. That's the
All
worst
right, let me
room.
just
7
add
copper.
more back.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do the 5 silver then.
5 silver. One of the very best room of the inn. Of course, as soon as you say you're going to take one of the best room, Barton, the innkeeper, immediately says, a human, probably in his later years, of course it's going to be ready in 10 minutes. Just give us a few moments.
Oh, okay. I'll be sitting over at this table. Just tell me when you're ready. And can you bring me some wine to that table? And it'll be the table that Trevor is sitting at.
All right.
Oh, you're making a good friend already now. Speaking his language.
So the wine is what sort of quality? You have a really common quality.
Expensive.
You have fine wine because it's trading town, so you have some, and you also have the very, very bad quality. That sort of feels
Oh, God.
like, I don't know, green ketchup when you look at it. But
Well, I'll assume that Valtteri and all them are with us. So
well, Valtteri is not gonna take any alcohol. She already
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Audience is already talking with a group of Dragonborn and already trying to sell the idea of dragon as gods, which he is not having a lot of success with.
Well, I almost died, so I'll buy all 3 of them.
All 3 kinds of wine?
Yes.
Wow! That's going to put
So
you
you just
at...
go buy all the variations, like here.
Yeah. Well,
Gonna have
one time
just a
off.
wine tasting night. Kinda.
Yeah, can you bring us a block of cheese and some crackers?
Wow! All right. Well, if you're actually serious about this,
Trevor's the wine drinker, so
Yes,
he's probably the savant out of all of them. So
I am serious about this.
all right.
Toby
So
wants to relax
for the
finally.
cheese, it's going to be 1 silver.
Okay.
For bread, cracker, all that sort of thing. If you just want a handful of them, it's going to be 1 copper. If you want a decent size, maybe a loaf of bread, or
Well,
a
I'll
bowl
say
of
enough for
cracker.
like the whole group of us. So
All right, so it's going to for all the types of wines, it's going to put you at 10 gold,
yes.
3 silver, and 7 copper.
All right. So 10.
I knew the expensive one was like close to 10 by itself.
Okay, wait.
so-
What was the next one? So how many
10
silver?
gold, 3 silver, and 7 copper.
And 7 copper. All right, and I'll bring over the cheese and stuff. Well, like everyone else helps me bring the rest of the stuff, or like the waitresses and stuff. And I'll bring it over and say, well, I think it's time for us to celebrate a little bit. We kind of made it.
Yeah, well, we made it through that now. I'm just glad that's over. This cult is really getting on my nerves. They've killed Tao twice now, so I think if we find any more, going to give them no quarter whatsoever.
Yes, we should take them out as soon as possible, because last time we let one go, didn't go so well. These goblins are,
Valtteri does share that she doesn't have any problem with all of you interfering with this cult, as it is essentially a fallen druidic order. So she's
Yeah.
on board, and
Yeah.
she's going to say that while taking probably a piece of cheese, because it is the most innocent thing that she can actually take from the table.
Yeah.
to rum cheat.
And
No,
I'll say, I realize I was probably a little harsh back there with the orb, but you got to see things from my point of view as well. That was probably the most powerful thing of theirs we've come in contact with, and I barely got to learn anything about it. It might have been able to give us an edge if you even communicated back a little bit to get any kind of information since he was talking to you, it just irked me, and I got a temper problem. Toby's trying to help me. We're going to work on it.
as he's talking, I'm pouring everybody. Well, not everybody. What, like 3 cups, and I'll say, well, let's have a toast to communication.
Yeah, toast.
And all right. I'd say,
Okay, go ahead.
judging from what Valtteri said last time, I don't know if it's in character for this, but it sort of feels appropriate to say this. She would say, she would add to this toast, trust goes both ways.
That's fair. Sounds about right. Yeah, I guess since we have did you pour a little bit of each wine in all of the cups or whatever?
Well, I would start with
Did you start off with the shit or go to the good stuff first or what?
No, I'd say we start off with the good stuff and then end it with the bad stuff. 'cause, yeah.
That way,
After you're
bad
too drunk
stuff
to give a
doesn't.
shit at that point,
So-
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You're just
Yeah.
trying to.
So Valtteri joins
Just
in
keep
with
the
the
buzz
toast,
going,
but
yeah.
she fills her drink with whatever water she has left inside her water skin. So, of course, the first wine that you taste, it's a very good wine. It's fine wine. It's easily to recognize that it's not local.
Question: is it better than my aged wine half bottle that I still have that I've already drank out of, since it's an older one.
Actually,
about the same.
with the roll that I made when you got the bottle, and the roll that I made right now, I'd say you would say if it had been aged maybe more, they would be of comparable. Sorry.
Comparable, yeah.
Exactly, quality.
Yeah.
But yours has been aged better, and
Yeah.
because of luck, it didn't turn into vinegar. So yours is a bit higher quality because of the
Yeah.
age.
I guess after he drinks a little bit of that, he'll pull out his bottle and like, and pull the cork off. But this is good.
All right.
The second wine that you taste,
We got to finish the whole first bottle. So
yeah, well,
Yeah.
Constitution.
oh yeah, sure. If you want to see how well you hold to this, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
let's make some Constitution saving throws. That's what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
that's what I was thinking of.
All right. Well, audience certainly joins in and fails his first Constitution save.
Oh, Jesus.
So he is starting to be
Okay.
even more joyful.
Oh, yeah, I did. That's an 18 plus 3, so yeah, 21. So, yeah, I'm good so far.
That's a 16.
Oh, shit.
Audience rolled a 5. So,
I'm going to drink. I'm going to drink everybody under the table.
so he takes, after getting through the
Become
first
a veteran.
bottle, you can see that he is getting very joyful and a lot louder about the dragons. Tobiashi, you do, because of your high perception and because you are not yet drunk, you do notice a little bit, a little something funny. The other dragonborns seem to get more and more annoyed with audience as he talks about dragons and gods. As if it's getting on their nerve and they're really not into this.
As audience is enjoying himself, probably talking to Bouncer at some point, I'll kind of quietly nod to Trevor and be like, it looks like the other Dragonborns aren't feeling the dragon talk that audience is talking.
Not a surprise. You know, I mean,
I'll take another drink.
and I drink again. You know, I guess we're just kind of quietly talking to ourselves as he's running his mouth over there. You know, it's like, you know, I've said from the start, you know, a dragon that wants to be a god has an agenda. You know, so something's not right about it. I still haven't had a chance to talk to him about it yet, but I definitely want to find out. You know, if his dragon has a name and particularly a color, because I guess the the metallic colors could want it too, but I got a feeling it's going to be chromatic. You know, they tend to be more towards the bad side, but I'm sure he'll willingly tell me once I have a chance to talk to him, but I don't think tonight's the appropriate time.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe hopefully this night keeps going well and we can enjoy our little celebration. And I'll just keep enjoying talking to Trevor as we drink and eat cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, as Trevor drinks more wine, he'll probably decompress more and more and get a little more friendly as the night goes on there, you know, de-stressing as we go along.
All right. So you finish your first bottle, and you start with the wine that is of a lesser quality. So as you taste it, the first thing that comes into your minds is Oh, this is probably a local wine, as in someone from this town made it in his cellar. You know, it's not bad for festivities, small festivities, and for cooking, but yeah, it's not of the same quality as the first one.
I just need to eat a little bit more cheese and crackers. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'll say, well, this is to getting to the place on time. Well, hopefully we can.
Yeah. Hopefully,
bit
no
slurring
more
my words.
distractions. Yeah. Let's try and keep the playing hero to a minimum.
And as you say this, audience answers back to what you just said by saying, "May the dragon watch over us as we make our way to the garden."
Oh. Oh.
Really?
He just failed his second constitution save.
Yeah,
He is
I went ahead
starting
and
to
rolled
get
mine
drunk.
too. It was worse this time. I got a 12 total.
I'll
So
roll mine. Yeah, that's
Well, You
a
basically
natural
have
one.
a third of a bottle each in your body, so the DC just went a little higher.
I rolled lower anyway. So yeah,
so-
I'm 12.
12 and Tobiyashi?
A natural one.
Natural
God.
one. So yes, you just.
Toby's so
Oh, I'd say it hits you very hard, that second one, and I'm gonna go directly at right now.
Ooh.
You have a point of exhaustion because of how drunk you're starting to get. Trevor, right now you're probably just at poisoned.
Right. So
But-
disadvantage for next con check or whatever.
Yeah.
Alright.
And audience is really starting to get drunk.
They would never let me drink this much at the monastery. I look at Trevor, kind of slurring a little bit.
It's like, alright, nobody gives a shit here. Drink yourself. Freaking blackout drunk. I don't care.
And so, Sam, I am so sorry, but audience is. I am rolling very poorly for audience. So, yeah, sorry.
That's alright. Toby's little coin challenge put him under the table with one glass last time, so you know.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I almost forgot about that. Let me write that down.
Well, it wasn't a glass, it was a pint. So,
Yeah, yeah, a large
it's a bit
glass,
more
yeah,
than a
yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and who
So,
won that? Because yeah, he owes you a weapon or something that he said. He was
Yeah.
gonna get. So, yeah.
Weapon.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, probably if you ever get into a major city, he's going to have to try and honor this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I'll go on with saying, kind of not noticing that I'm grabbing the cup with my silk instead of my hand. I'll kind of raise it up to my mouth and say, well, it's been a successful day. I think we should finish drinking and probably head to bed.
So, Trevor, Trevor, I'd say make a perception roll.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's
You're poisoned, remember.
yeah. Oh, disadvantage. Okay. After. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. That was for it. Perception. Yeah, I got this. That's a 9.
9. Well, it's a bit blurry as you see this, but it's just enough that you notice it, but you are aware that you're starting to get drunk, so you're not sure if it's the drunk thing or if it's actually happening. But you see Tobiyashi trying to grab the drink and failing once, then he just grabs the drink with both his hands, and when he raises it, looks like the silk around his wrist is holding it, and not his hand. And then he catches it with both hands, and he drinks. It just lasts a moment.
Alright. Trevor just gives like a confused look, but he doesn't say anything. He's just like,
Say, well, does Tao want any?
Oh, yeah, the Tao and alcohol. Yeah. He's gonna be
does
ready
Tao
to
want
be
any
cooked.
alcohol? Well, or any cheese or food. I mean, just because he's a familiar.
he doesn't eat, drink, or sleep, so it wouldn't affect him one way or another. He's technically a spirit, so.
Well, he might like flavor, so I'll hand him some cheese.
I'll just tell Tal, take it if you want it.
All right, he takes it. He looks around, a bit exasperated by the joyful nature of how alcohol is making everyone. And for this moment right now, he probably feels a bit more of a connection with Valtteri, who hasn't been drinking alcohol, but has been drinking a lot of water, so she probably needs to pee right now.
Yeah.
Alright, well, guess Trevor would slow down at that point. It's like, well, I think we could save that looking at the cheap stuff there in the last bottle. Like, I think we could save that one for tomorrow or something.
Oh yes, that sounds like a good idea. I'll start to clean up the cheese as I'm trying to like grab everything and gather the cheese and put it in like a napkin or like a cloth that's right there.
All right. So you start grabbing everything, and actually, it's very easy for you to just unwrap a little piece of your wrapping because if you pull it from the side, it is actually large.
My
It's
wrapping.
2 feet wide. So it's
Oh, wow.
you
Okay.
can just you start unraveling just a bit of the cloth, and then you pull it on the side, and you just shove everything in it, and then you just close it and make another turn on
Like a
your
sack.
arm, and you see this image reminiscent from a spider carrying its meal of a silk bag filled with cheese, bread, cracker, and an unopened bottle of wine dangling from his arm.
I'll say, okay, we're ready.
Yeah. And just before we go to bed, just Trevor look at the audience says, for such a big guy, you are quite the lightweight when it comes to drinking. You must not do a whole lot. It must be the whole holy thing or something. Or, yeah. Must not do a lot of drinking.
Well, right now, he just looks at you and... Oh, actually, would he? Oh, this is sort of... Oh, goodness. I don't know if the player has ever thought about this, but... As the dungeon master, I do. So he just looks at you and says, "What do you mean?" And he just touches himself, and you see a little bit of energy coming from his hand, and you see his head clearing, and he just starts talking again, and he just uses...
Yeah, Leon has removed the poison effect there. Yeah. Okay.
And he goes back,
Instant cup of coffee there. Yeah, just.
and he just goes back into the crowd, and he says he's going to be up. He's going to go to bed, not too late. He feels like he has a good connection with the crowd, most of it anyway.
Yeah. Well, Trevor didn't pick up on the Dragonborn getting annoyed, so yeah, he'll just leave it at that. So yeah, have fun with that.
I'll walk up to him kind of drunkenly and tell him to just watch out for your kind and walk away. As cryptic as possible.
I'll make it obvious. Let him get in some trouble. Sure, why not?
I am so sorry, player of audience. I just rolled a 6 to know if you could understand what he... So you look at him slightly puzzled and go back into the crowd. I am so sorry.
And I guess Trevor will just go up and pass out. Yeah, I think we're all too drunk to work on meditation at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll try in the morning
We
or
try it.
something. Or
We try it for like 5 minutes and we're like, what's that noise?
yeah,
Oh.
it's like,
My own voice.
yeah. Yeah, you sit there with your eyes closed trying to concentrate and you just start doing this number and the room starts spinning. It's like, yeah, no, this is not going to work tonight. Sorry.
Yeah. I gotta go.
Just like in animes, when you get a drunken sleep where you see the bubble and the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try this again tomorrow night. Yeah, this is not going to work tonight.
Okay, well, have a good night, and I'll get ready to sleep.
Yeah, same. I'll go to my freaking hay pile or whatever I got for 7 copper there.
You got the lowest quality room. Basically, you got something that looks like a cot. So it's made of wood. There's probably straw under the bed cover. There is one blanket which looks warm. You could get through the night with this easily. But other than that, you have a chair and a desk.
Yeah. Well,
And
you
it's
said the
more
blanket, but is there a pillow in there at all, or no?
Yeah. There's
Okay. I was going to say he'd just roll up his
something that
jacket
looks
to
like-
use for a pillow if he didn't, but yeah.
there's something that could pass as a pillow.
He'll lay on that. If it's not comfortable enough, he'll roll up his jacket too to kind of give him a little more cushion there. Use the blanket best he can. Just pass out, have a towel, keep watch, tell him to screech if anybody tries coming in or anything. So.
All right.
And
And
Toby, I don't
Tobiashi just is, I don't know.
just got his dinner.
Yeah, sorry.
He opens the bag of silk he has and takes a few
He
more
eats
bits of
leftover
cheese.
cheese and bread. Yeah.
Yeah, right before I go to sleep.
Got the drunken munchies now. Yeah, I gotta get
Yeah.
round 2 going there.
It's right before I go to sleep, so soak it up. Don't want
Yeah.
to bark in the morning.
Yep.
And if you want to mark it down in your inventory, it's really going to be a poor quality wine.
I'll put it in my notes for now.
All right.
Until after.
I wasn't sure if you were going to try to drink this in the morning or another day, but
Okay,
yeah.
I'll probably save it for another
See if anybody has any hangovers in the morning. They might need it.
Yeah, we'll see. Best thing
Alright.
for a hangover is more alcohol.
Oh, there's definitely going to be alcohol in this. I don't know what else is going to taste like, but
Yeah.
all right. So y'all go to bed. Eventually, Valtteri and audience also go to bed, and it looks like audience goes to bed unharmed. So he was able to not exasperate the Dragonborn to a point where a fight would break out. So, you wake up in the morning, bit of a headache. Both of you. Audience
Alright.
seems to be as fresh as the morning dew. He's fine.
I'll wake up and kind of feel thing that's on my arm, and like be like, oh shoot, and like take it all out, and fix my wrapping on my arm. Like, whoa. I'll get I should have some cloth. Can I cut off the cloth?
Your own?
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Well, right now, if you cut it, it will just disappear in a mist
Okay.
of color, and you can resummon it.
Okay, so I'll cut off a little piece of the wrapping that was before, because like I had wrapping on before I had this wrapping on. So the ones that's underneath it.
Okay, so the one that is not you.
Yes, the one that is like just cloth.
All right.
And then I just wrap up just the cheese and the bread and stuff, and then I'll grab the bottle of wine and take it out with me when I leave the room.
So what's left on your arms?
I just don't have regular cloth on this right arm.
Okay, so you replaced your regular cloth with your own.
Yes.
All right. All right. So as you both make your way down, you notice that it is a lot more quiet. You can more easily see those who are actually travelers and not those who are living in the town. You do notice that there are a few dwarves. You notice someone wearing a sort of dark gray cloak, hood up, in a corner. He's not eating anything. He's just patiently waiting. You see a group of halfling enjoying their breakfast meal, and they sort of got inspired by Tobiashi, I'd say, because they have everything you can find that is a little bit unusual. But for halfling, it's not that unusual to see that. They like good living, so they have a really nice spread in front of them with bread, cheese, morning pastry, what passes for them in this town anyway. So probably loaf of bread that is a lot fluffier, maybe a little bit sugarier. You see a few drinks of different colors on the table. You're not sure what they are, but they have odd colors. You also see a group of half-elf in another corner of the inn, and a group of human actually talking to one Sharoon from the caravan that you were told was inside of town. He has mostly brown colored clothes, so he is a member of those who live in caravans.
Okay. I'll talk to Trevor. I think we should get started on getting these horses. Kind of feeling my head a little bit. You could take this if you want to. I'll hand him the bottle of wine. And then,
So you receive a bottle of poor quality wine.
He doesn't know the quality yet, so he'll just take it and say, "Yeah, I'll find a use for this for sure."
no problem. When you go,
I'd say, what is your passive perception?
Me or
Trevor.
Toby?
Trevor?
Oh, 13. Yeah.
Well, he gives you the bottle, and as you take it, sure, you're gonna find a use for it. You do get a glimpse of the bottom of the bottle of wine, and you sort of see this little bit of matter at the bottom of. Okay, so they. Yeah.
Yeah. Trevor already had plans. He was going to uncork it, at least smell it before he drank anything. And I'm sure he'd been able to tell it was poor quality at that point and just dump it out somewhere, or something.
It's wine. It's wine. It's definitely something that you wouldn't use for other than cooking or removing paint. It's still wine, so.
Trevor will hold on to it. He won't dump it out, but yeah, he'll uncork it, at least smell it. It's like, and just pocket it, and do something with it later. He'll hold on to it. So
I'll continue
I'll
to
put
say
that in my inventory.
A poor, very poor quality wine.
I'll continue to say, so I think you and the audience should head out and find the horses, and if I'll look at Valterian and be like, if you want to come and help me, I just need to go run some errands before we leave.
I'd say you see Valtteri looking slightly disappointed. She wanted to go buy the horses.
I mean, we can do whatever on the way over there. And so
But he'll say to Toby, what are you looking to do? What are you looking to unload some stuff or
well, I was
general
thinking of
shopping or what?
I was thinking of getting some new clothes because I look like a little bit of a sore thumb out here in my monk clothes.
Yeah, Trevor, like, well, Valtteri wants to go with audience to get the horses.
Yeah,
I couldn't
Valtteri
go
would.
with you because I mean you're going to do shopping, and I want to see if I can find somebody to buy these daggers that none of us are. Nobody here is interested in. I got 3 extras besides the one that I'm keeping. So
Okay, yeah, you could come with me. I'll probably be looking for a clothes shop and then looking for maybe a candy store of some sort.
I remember that. Yep.
Yes, the candy.
Yep. Okay. All right. So I guess Val will go with audience and
Okay.
for the horses,
Oh, wow.
and then we'll do our thing. We'll do the shopping, I guess.
Well, no, I'd say
that
there's
should be
no
easy
problem.
enough. All the AFK players, you can just hand wave. So
Yeah, no, I was just going to have Valtteri ask someone for money, but I just remember that audience is probably the richest member of the group.
Yeah.
Yep, he's loaded at the moment.
So, what are you looking for? Just horses, cart with with horses.
Well, we were just looking for individual horses together, or I think. What do you think? Should we get a cart because not all of us know how to proficiently ride a horse?
Because if you all take a horse, even a draft horse, it's 50 gold for every horse. If
Wow.
you buy a cart, you're only going to need 1 or 2 horses and a cart. And a cart is 15 gold. So it doesn't cost as much to buy 1 or 2 horse and a cart rather than 4 horses.
Yeah,
Oh, and
I'm
we
sure
own the
we
cart.
would have told them to compare, prices, even
Yeah.
the audience is the lower intelligence one, but he does have a decent wisdom, just tell him, compare the prices, see what's the cheapest route and get whatever works, if a cart and 2 horses are the cheapest, go with that versus 4 horses, I would explain enough of that to him, and I think he's got enough martial experience and war and all that to know enough to go the better route there anyway. So
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go the way of a cart, which is 15 gold, but you could ride in style with a wagon.
I think
Which
that'd
is
be up to the
35
audience
gold.
to decide there. So might want to. Well, we're not too far from ending the stream, so I might want to tell him and whisper him and he can decide and be a surprise next session. Since he's the one with all the money, so
All right.
I think he'll have to decide that. So
All
I
right.
think that's fair.
All right. So we're gonna leave it to him to decide. And Valtteri, so they're going to have homework. All right.
Yep.
For the 2 of you. So, what exactly are you looking for? In what order? And for what
Well,
purpose?
Trevor's just looking for some people that's interested in magic items to unload these extra daggers. He's wanting to keep one of them for himself, but I think we got like 3 extra because I don't think anybody else was interested in any of them.
Okay. Well, I believe you gave 1 to Valtteri.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 then. All right.
All right. So,
And he might get rid of his. I don't know, depending on the price. We'll see.
oh, that is a good point. Dungeon Master Guide.
So I would say we go first, and I would just wait to see if I see any like clothes shops or any candy stores.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so this is going to be it. No, why does it... Alright. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, this is interesting. Okay. So, of course, there are places to buy and sell magical object. You hear enough rumor just walking in the streets to know that the caravan of Sharoons will most likely buy magical object or sell them if they have any. There is also a shop that sells varieties of potions. Some of them magical. There is also the center of town. It is a commercial town, so you might actually be able to find traveling merchant interested in buying rare and exotic magical object.
Alright. Alright. Just from the look of the Sharoon, I'm going to guess they'll probably give us the lowest price. He'll try the potion shop first or whatever with, I remember mentioning that the daughter or something just came out of magic school, so I got a connection.
Okay.
Do some negotiation.
All right, so you go there, and you're greeted by a human male. Looks maybe end of 30s. For the Middle Ages, it's getting a bit old, but still. End of 30s, almost 40s. Greets you warmly. Yes, hello.
Hello. Yes, we're just passing through. I've come across a few daggers. They're sort of a niche item, but I'm just looking for anybody interested in magical items that might be interested in. Like I said, they're kind of niche, but you might be able to get a decent premium for them. They seem to be ritual type daggers, and I'll take one out and present it to them. I've identified them already. You're more than welcome to as well if you need to. But any person you stab with them, it will soak up the blood, and with a command word, you can empty out the stored blood.
So yeah, you give him this dagger, and because of how high he just rolled, he just looks at this. Oh yes, we had an adventurer who came by maybe 2 or 3 days ago. Went through the forest. He actually tried to sell 2 of those daggers. Yeah, I'm a bit familiar. To be quite honest, they're a bit harder to sell because of the implication of their powers. I could buy them from you, but to be quite honest, because I'm not sure how easily it's going to be able to sell them, I can't give you the same price as a shop devoted to magical object would.
Well, just humor me, and how much could you offer? And
so he looks at. Do you present the 3 daggers or just 2?
Yeah, I'll do 2 for now.
Okay,
yeah.
So he looks at them, turns it a bit, just rubs the blade a bit. You see him take just a piece of cloth, rub it just a little bit, remove some of stains from the hilt.
Just for the record, I have emptied out the blood out of all the daggers.
Oh well, that is a good thing. So he said, well, the blades are of a good quality and probably could be used for something else. The hilt itself is well, it was made by a small creature. Yeah, they don't have very elaborate
Yeah,
techniques.
they're not much. They're not much visually. I understand.
I could buy them both for 75 gold.
I will take that into consideration. Is there a devoted magic shop here that would be more interested in them by chance?
Well, we do have our resident potion maker. He does dabble in more magical objects. He mostly sells potion, but he is the one that would be the most interested in buying something like this, because among magical component, you do find blood from a variety of creature. So he might be interested in them. Otherwise, there are a few merchants that comes from the capital, the neighboring duchy. So they probably will be interested, as they will sell it inside of the big city. I'm not sure about the Sharoons, but they are quite knowledgeable with magic, so one might actually be able to have better ideas of what to do with them.
All right. I'll. Well, no offense. I mean, but I definitely want to try and get the best price I can. So I'll check in with the Sharoons and the potion shop, and if I can't get a better price, or if they're about the same, since you gave me the first, I will come back to you.
All right.
So. All right. I appreciate your time.
No problem. No problem. Good trading.
Okay.
I will walk up to him and ask him if he knows of any clothes shops, any decor places.
Well, yes. Maybe five or so houses from here. There is a young woman, hard to miss, very pretty, half elven origin. She makes impressive work. She often sells them to traveler, and she often buys also cloth from different origins. That would be your best bet for people living in town. For merchants, again, Sharoons traveled throughout the islands continuously, so they might be the most knowledgeable about prices. That's whatever you want to sell or buy could be. Most likely will give you a very fair price. Then there's a variety of traveling merchants that come here every day, so one of them might actually be looking or have what you're interested in.
Okay, thank you very much. And one more thing, do you know of any candy shops nearby?
Candy shop. Oh, that's a bit specialized. Well, you could try the potion maker. He does dabble in a lot of alchemical concoction, and from what I can tell of sugary confection, a lot of it depends on knowledge about what to mix things how and cook them at what level. So he might be able to help you. Of course, such a specialized item, I really would just recommend you go to the town square and see if there's a merchant coming from another island chain, or maybe one of the major city of this island, one of the capital city. They most likely will have things very special.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll be heading on out. I'll talk to Trevor. Which place is closest that we were just talking about?
Well, the only place in common that you have is the potion makers.
Yeah. I said we'll both go to that first. If that doesn't work out, then maybe we can split up from there. You can find your clothes, and I'll see if I can offload these daggers. But we'll go there first, see what we can find.
Okay, that seems like a plan. And we'll head to the potion maker.
All right. So it does take you a few minutes to find it, but once you find it, it becomes obvious. Oh, yeah, the shop with the sign that looks like a potion. Yeah. All right. So you get in. It is a smaller shop, not well lit. You see someone that you're having a little bit of trouble identifying what he is because of the poor light. But you see someone behind the desk, looks humanoid, and has height similar to that of a human. So, human, half elf, could be half orc. You don't see well enough.
All right. I'll say. Well,
He doesn't notice
I went
you as you
first
enter.
this time, so okay. Well, so I went first last time. So you want to go first this time, Toby, and see what ask about your stuff first, or
Okay,
yeah, ask about the daggers first.
No, I'll ask about my stuff.
Okay.
I'll go back quickly. As we're done talking about like that, so I'll walk up and I'll say, "Hello, sir. What's your name?"
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you get in. And as you get closer to him, you do notice that he is most likely a half orc. However, his skin is very close to that of a human, so half orc might be overselling it. Maybe a quarter orc.
Quarter orc.
Quarter orc.
Well, everyone just calls me the potion maker, but if you're asking for a more personal business matter, you can just call me Taven. It'll do fine.
Okay, Taven, I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Yeah, sure.
I'll pull out the poison potion out of my bag and set it in front of me. I'll say, I was wondering if you could turn this into a sweet candy.
Oh, that's an interesting challenge.
But still have the effects that it has.
Okay. Do you know exactly what it is?
Potion of poison. I think I got it. Did I get it checked out?
Yeah.
Well,
Trevor identified it as
Trevor-
potion of poisoning. I think was
Yeah.
the full description. Yeah.
It's a potion of poisoning. I'll look at Trevor to make sure that I'm right. And be like,
Yeah. I'm like, yep, that's it.
Oh, all right. So it's already a magical object, a magical liquid. Oh, this is an interesting challenge. Well, I'd love to try, but how long are you going to be in town? Something like this is risky and will take more than one day.
well, if it doesn't matter, you could. It doesn't matter at what time that I receive this. You could send it to me by mail if you need to. I'll be. What's the closest city to the garden?
It's Gross Hill.
Trevor mentioned that we're heading northeast, if I remember right. Yeah, so it's like the next major city that's within a few days from here or something. Yeah.
Well, the letter of the garden did say to travel north of Gross Hill. So
Okay, so I'll tell him. So we're gonna be in Gross Hill in a few days. If you could send it to there. I don't know. Is there a post office back then?
usually the inn would be the default building where
Yeah.
things would be delivered.
Send it to the most popular inn. And I'll
All
pick it up
right.
there.
If you don't mind, I'm going to ask you for a little bit of money in advance because I will have to experiment a bit. And
Yes, sir.
what exactly would you like this to be, other than candy?
Um, just a hard candy. Like a circle like this big, a couple of them.
Oh, all right. Oh, this is going to be an interesting challenge. Um,
If you could change the color to make it look more enticing too.
what color do you find enticing?
Red.
Red. I do admit that red apple sells more than green apples. All right, all right. This could be so roughly the size of a cherry with matching color.
Yes.
All right. Um,
Name your price.
the potion itself was of which rarity? Potion of. Ah, voilà. Uncommon. How about 60 gold? And if it ever goes beyond this, I'm gonna add something to the letter to make sure that you pay the rest.
COD.
Okay.
The
I
magical
will-
equivalent of.
Yeah.
I will pay that.
All right. You hand him the potion, you hand him the 60 gold, and he says he's going to do his best to conquer this new challenge, this new interesting and odd challenge.
Okay. Thank you, friend. I will be hearing from you soon, hopefully. I'll turn to Trevor and be like, "Well, I'm gonna head on over there if you don't mind."
Okay, no problem. Yeah, go ahead. I still need to talk to him about my proposition anyway, so
Yeah, I bow and leave.
I'll meet you back at the end, I guess, later on.
Yeah.
Okay. And
oh.
as Toby walks up. Okay. As Toby walks up, it's like, yeah, I was referred here that you might be interested in these, and he'll take out the two daggers, just kind of put the points on the thing, and just kind of give him a little twirl here.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard about them. They're the first that I actually see in person, but Blacksmith sort of bragged about this odd dagger a few days ago. Looks a bit like what you're showing me.
Yeah, I can. If you're more than welcome to identify them, I already have, and I can tell you the command words to them. But they seem to be more ritualistic type daggers. They absorb blood of any creature that's stabbed, and with a command word, you can empty them out.
Okay. Hold on. So he just takes one and he turns toward what would be considered the back of this shop, which is most likely just a curtain and a wall. The curtain just act as a makeshift door. And he calls to someone behind, and in Orcish, I don't think you can understand it. So he calls out to someone in Orcish, and you actually see a very large orc coming out of this. And he's wearing clothes that sort of betray a more shamanistic inclination. Just hands him one dagger, talks a little bit more.
Call it in the expert. Yep.
And you see this orc going in the back and says, well, just to be on the safe side, he has a lot of experience with identifying things. So he's just going to give it a quick identification, and he'll get back to us in a few minutes.
No problem.
Anything you'd like to...
Not in a hurry.
buy while you're waiting, or maybe just browse?
Well, depending on if you have an offer for me, just curious to see if you have maybe any scrolls or anything of any spells that I might be able to learn. I'm a magic user myself. I just recently graduated from the Sulston Tower back on Rochard Island.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I don't deal in a lot of magical object of this kind. I mostly deal in potion.
Okay.
So I don't really have any scrolls for magical object. But if you're willing to
That's
put
fine.
the price for it, I can give you recipes for different type of potions.
Okay. Well, let's see what kind of price. What kind of potions? Anything interesting other than your typical healing potions or whatnot?
Well, and you see him bend down, and he just gets a sort of large scroll case bin type of container. Just put it on the counter and looks through it. There are a few things to help with poison, and he just takes one and this one is an improved version of a potion of healing. That's always interesting. Puts it back in. Just goes through a bit more for different kind of poisons, and this is one that I've never actually been able to use. It's a different one. Definitely something that you'd have to experiment a bit on. But apparently it's something to help with luck. I don't have the necessary component to try it, but if you can, I would have to travel a long way to get the necessary components to even try this. I'd be willing to sell it for 25 gold. And if it says what it says on the scroll, it grants a little bit of luck to whomever drinks it. So basically, it gives 1 point of luck to someone who would drink it.
So basically, like the lucky feat, but you get
one use,
one roll, pretty much. Yeah, one use. Gotcha. Interesting. Well, let's see what kind of prices you come up with for the daggers. We might be able to work up a partial trade or something, possibly. And I don't know if you deal in that as well, but do you have incense here by chance? I'm sure you know the basics of magic. My companion here require like incense and charming him, and I'm running into a string of bad luck with him lately, so I'd like to have some extra on hand if possible.
Well, I have the component to make them, but I don't have any in the store. Like I said, I mostly deal in potions. If you have the necessary material to make the incense out of the component, I can sell you the material. Otherwise, I'd say try the Sharoons.
Okay. All right.
They mostly use clerical and nature magic, so they would most likely
incense. They should probably have a good supply of. Yeah. Okay.
Especially if you can find one of those that have the either green or blue robes. They usually
robes. Okay.
Yeah, those one they live in town mostly. They don't travel as much, but they are experts at every bounty nature can give.
Okay, all right. I'll seek them out after this then. All right. let's see what your
All right.
associate
So,
discovers here.
Turns around and says something in Orcish. The orc comes back out. Say something in Orcish to the owner of the shop, and then turns toward you and says, "Well, it's very interesting. I'd definitely be interested in buying one, not two. I don't have a need for two, but definitely would be interesting to gather some components, especially from those nastier creatures, which are harder to kill, but not that hard to injure.
Okay.
I'd be willing to buy one for 55 gold.
55. How much did he say for the recipe or whatever? 25, I think, is what he said.
Yes, 25.
Yep.
Yeah. See.
The other guy says
Could you do 40 and maybe throw in the recipe?
Make a persuasion check.
Alright. No advantage or anything?
No, you'd never did anything for him, so...
No. Well, that's still not bad. Let me see. What is that? 16 or 16? What is this? Natural 16. I think I got a decent persuasion. Yeah. 4 plus 4, so that's 20.
Okay. He looks at you, he looks at the dagger, and says, alright, you have a deal.
Okay. Alright. I'll hand him. Let's see. Which ones do I have still here? Do you have a particular preference on command word? I have Rosh and Tosei. Or Tusei, I'm not sure.
How did I write this?
That's Rash, R-A-A-S-H, and T-O-S-A-Y. Yeah, so I said Rosh.
Rosh and
Tosei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna take Rosh.
Okay. I'm keeping that unset for myself. I like that word, so for some reasons. All right, so I will unload Rosh. Okay, and add 40 gold. Let me see here. Yeah, and okay. All right, and I'll add that recipe a little bit later. And, all right, thank you for the time. I will seek out the Shagroon and go from there.
All right.
And we get a little bit of incense. But before I do, I'm going to head back to the other guy, see if he wants to at least buy one of these or whatever. Since he offered me, 75 for the two. So,
yeah.
And I won't even haggle price or whatever. I'm just like, can you still be interested in one? I was able to at least get rid of one of these.
Yeah, sure. If you want to sell one, he'd be ready to buy one for 35 gold.
Okay. What kind of vendor was he? I can't remember. What was he selling?
The first one? You went to the blacksmith because his daughter was
the
a
blacksmith.
magic user.
Okay, gotcha.
He could
Okay.
identify or know the value of it.
Gotcha. Okay. 35, you said?
Yep.
I'll take it. Trevor's finally getting a little bit of gold on him now, finally. Jesus Christ. All right.
All right.
now he'll go find the Sharoons to buy maybe a little bit of incense
All right.
here.
Tobiyashi. So you went out and you wanted to get new clothes. Where are you going to go?
To where the guy told me, the 5 spaces down from the first guy we talked to.
So you easily find
yeah,
this
walk into the
shop.
shop.
It looks a little bit fancier than the other. There is a sign with a bolt of cloth drawn on it, so it's relatively easy to find. As you get in, you see from the back, because she is currently toiling with something in her shop, but it's definitely a woman, and it's definitely someone of elven origin, because humans are usually not that tall and thin.
Okay. I will walk up and say, "Hello there."
Oh, hello. How can I
Hello.
help you?
I was wondering if you had any clothes that are good for adventuring.
Adventuring clothes. Well, of course. It's
See, as you can see, these clothes are loose on me as I'm trying to get around.
and she looks a little bit at you and a little tattered, if you don't mind me saying.
Oh yeah, kind of been through a lot.
You look it. You look it. All right. So what could we get you? All right. So yes, of course, there's a variety of clothes. Something very common or more oriented toward traveling.
A little more oriented towards traveling. I'll be traveling a lot.
All right, all right.
And maybe a coat, because it'll get a little bit rainy and as I am traveling out there.
All right, a rain cloak. Of course, this can easily be provided. So for your traveling attire, do you want something more toward the end of functional or toward the end of fashionable?
A little bit more towards functional.
All right. So she shows you to a few different set of clothes. Definitely ideal for the region, for the time of the year. Very light. She does have compliments for those for when it's going to get a little bit more, a little hotter. Those she shows you are all around 2 to 5 golds.
Okay, and one more thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything almost like a trench coat in there, or no?
A trench coat. That's interesting. Let me see. What is? I am sure that I saw this somewhere. Sorry, just give me a moment.
No, you're good. Oh, I've been sitting too long.
Okay. I was sure I saw a cloak somewhere in there. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Or at least like a starting to one that just look kind of like it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say. So. What you're looking for is something to protect you from the rain or protect you from the weather, general, like
Yes.
wind or.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the most common one would be the traveling cloak. There are cloak which they're cloak for protecting you from the rain, or they're heavier cloak to protect you from cold weather and stuff like this. It's usually not the same thing, but I'm pretty sure I could come up with. Yeah, I could.
Like a pre-made cloak, so like it looks like a regular cloak but with armholes.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, this was a very common type of cloak during the Middle Ages.
Okay.
Those that the arm could stick out from the side. So yeah, something that can help you travel.
Yes, and for like just the regular clothes, it'd be like a long sleeve like white shirt and like traveling pants with a belt and shoes
Yeah.
for traveling.
Yeah,
Boots.
I'm using the traveler's clothes
Okay, yeah, yeah.
object. So it's usually 2 gold, but you're asking someone who prides herself of her work, so it's a little bit fancier than the normal. This is why I said between 2 and 5 golds, which shows you. And I'm looking for the. Where is it? I saw it. Ah, there it is. She could give you a rain cloak for. Where is it? For 1 gold, and a winter cloak for 5 silver.
Is one just thicker than the other? Like one's made out of leather and one's made out of cloth, or like?
A raincoat is usually something that's been treated with some sort of sealing agent to prevent it from absorbing water. So it protects you from rain. It also protects you from wind, as it is isolated.
All right, I'll do the raincoat one then.
All right. So it'll add you 1 gold, and for the traveler's clothes, 3 gold, so a total of 4 gold.
4, 3, and remove. All right, that's 4 gold, and then as soon as I put the cloak on, I will line with my cloth. I'll line kind of like the back of the cloth, like from my head to the back, like where the hood is, to about the center of my back, and then it connects to where my arms kind of like go out, you know.
Okay.
And then it'll kind of just like line the cloak out with the pink. If I could do that, since it's attached to my body.
Yeah. Well, it's
If not, it would be like that underneath it.
yeah. Well, you can definitely use your cloth to line it in a way.
Yeah, like line it. Yeah, that's what I was.
But it's not going to be strongly
Attached to it.
attached to it.
Yeah.
Basically, what you did is you bought a cloak and then you made a cloak with your own silk.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Basically, like I just like outlined the major like threading and stuff. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to take you a few moments to concentrate and make sure that everything lines up where it was. I believe I did place something inside the description for if you want to make clothes with it. So it's going to take you a little while, but sure, you can easily extend it that way.
All right, and I'll have a picture of that soon.
All right.
And that's pretty much it. And then I'll head back to the tavern.
All right.
It was a successful day. I'll say thank you very much. Have a good day, and I'll bow and.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your patronage, and maybe we'll see you again. Have a nice day.
And the only thing that I kept from my other clothes was my the vest that I had underneath everything, that I still have underneath everything.
Okay.
And I leave.
All right. So, Trevor, we're going to finish with you with the Sharoons. You're muted.
You did.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I was going to say I might be willing to unload my dagger with them too. We'll see. But yeah, okay.
All right. So it only takes you a few minutes because all you have to do is find elephant-sized bears.
Yeah, I was going to say I already know kind of what they travel with, so yeah, it shouldn't be hard to find them.
So maybe you find them near the exit of the village. They're not on their way out. They're slowly starting to pack. They're probably planning to leave sometime during the day.
Okay, I'll look to see if I see any with the blue or green robes that the guy described to me.
No, unfortunately, they all have brown and gray robes.
Okay. Well, he'll just approach one and say, "Yes, I was referring to you guys. I know you deal in magical items and just general wares. I was looking for some just some general charcoal and incense for a spell component. Willing to buy, maybe work out a partial trade, just depending." Just for the record, he'll take out the dagger and say, "I know you guys. I've heard you dealt in magical weapons. You might be interested in this." And show him just to see what kind of trade they might work out.
All right. So
See if they want to offer him anything.
All right. So this is the last one that you have.
Right. Yeah. This is be the one that he kept for himself, but he's willing to see if they offer him anything decent for it.
All right.
He needs gold right now more than a dagger.
All right. All right. So immediately as you approach, oh, welcome. Yes, sure. All right. Incense. Yes, of course. He turns around and starts talking. I don't believe you know either primordial or halfling.
No, I'm pretty sure. Nope.
All right. So he turns around and utters a few phrases in his own language, and then you see two of them making their way to him, and so yes, we have a variety of things. So for incense, what exactly do you need? And he starts unraveling a pack with a whole lot of incense. There are some that you have no clue what it is, some that you know very well, and some that you're not sure.
Yeah, I'd say nothing rare or fancy, just basic incense and charcoal. A single use would be 10 golds worth. At least probably like 2 uses worth, maybe 3, depending.
All right. Two of them looks at you a bit puzzled, but the third one looks at you and then looks at the owl and says, "Oh, all right. I get what you want. Yeah, sure. There's. It's relatively easy. You see him take a few things, and you see him open a jar, which looks a little bit familiar to one of the jar that you saw in the cavern. He just takes a little bit, smells it. Ah, yeah, sure. Well, it's not incense, but it could be used. A little bit pricey, but just a little is going to be good. So he just takes a handful of it, sprinkle it inside the mix. You see him take a
And
few...
he'll mention, I don't think the amount, the quantity matters, just the gold amount for some reason. So,
Yeah, I know. I personally don't dabble in wizardry, but I'm a merchant, so I did learn quite a few things. All right. So, and he takes a few more bits of incense, wraps them all up inside a package, and twists it a little bit, wraps it up, and takes a few lumps of coal, and said, "Here you go. 10 gold. And it's going to be able to resummon your owl if you lose it."
So it's one use, basically.
Yes, you wanted to. Yes, of course. So he looks around, just does the same motion, creates another bundle, takes a little bit of this jar of spice, weird yellow spice, just sprinkle it in, close everything. Here you go, 2 bundles.
Okay. And would you guys be interested in this dagger at all?
So
Maybe a partial or a trade of any kind, possibly?
One of them just looks at you and raises his hand like this. The two others, well, they look a bit interested. One of them, the one that just made the bundle, not so much. He just looks at you and says, the magic feels a little bit unrespectful. The third one says, oh, well, actually, we did come across this a few days ago. Could be interesting to study it, make sure that we don't have to suffer from it again. But other than for arcane curiosity, we really don't have any need for it. Most of the components that we have, we just gather from the forest, and some of us are actually very, very knowledgeable of the creatures in the forest. So it's, I'd be willing to buy it for 25 gold. It's really just a curiosity for us.
Yeah, that's fair. So you said 20 for the incense, so you want to just say give me 5 gold for the incense and call it even?
Alright, yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay.
So,
good for me.
Takes the dagger, gives you the incense, gives you 5 gold.
Okay, alright. Good enough for me. I'll unload my last one, because I doubt I'll ever really use it anyway, so that. Okay, so now Valtry's got the only dagger.
And
I knew I should have took those other ones from the freaking cavern. Might have been able to sell a couple more of them. Oh well. But like I said, Trevor was too pissed at the moment to really deal with any of that.
And actually, make a intelligence roll.
Just straight intelligence with my modifier. Let's see. It's decent. 15 plus 4, so 19.
All right. So as you finish this deal, it sort of pops in your head. Oh, goodness. We saw a few jar of this yellow thing spice inside the cavern. A sprinkle of it gave you costed nearly 10 gold. Imagine a jar.
Yeah, it's like, again, he's just thinking to himself, I gotta get my emotions under control. I get too pissed at the dumbest shit. I gotta cool my shit. It's like, just thinking to himself, just stick with Toby. He'll get your nerves calm there and can focus a little better.
As long as we know where the gun is.
All right.
Yeah, we had to backtrack a good ways now, but maybe later.
Yeah.
All right. So just as you're about to leave, you hear a fourth one coming next to you, and he looks at you and says, "I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being a bit out of place or rude. I don't know. You're familiar. Didn't you used to travel with a tiefling girl that kept trying to pet every one of our gumpas?"
Yes, she is in town. She is still traveling with us. She is actually with our other companion, the dragon.
Yeah, the tall one with the scales.
Yeah, they're looking for some horses for us to travel with.
Oh, where do you need to go?
We're heading to. Oh Jesus! Hold on. I could have told you if you didn't ask me. We are going to Groshild. Yeah, I just seen it as soon as you. We're going to Groshild.
All right. Oh, that's a bit far, but if you want company while you're traveling, we can take you as far as Touron, capital city of the next duchy. It's on the
Okay.
way.
All right. How far is that from Grossfield?
Oh, it's still about a week of travel. But the advantage is once you're at Touron, you only have to always go north.
Okay. Would we still need to acquire some horses, or
You're going to be
could we?
traveling with us. You could always just profit from our own caravan. But if you bring horses with you, we can accommodate for them. Yeah, you won't have to spend money on the feed. We'll include it in the price of the travel.
Okay. All right. Let me see if. How much longer are you guys going to be in town before you head out? It looks like you're kind of getting ready to here. So.
Well, we were planning to leave around noon, but if you want a few more hours, we could delay our departure for until tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know if we'll need that long. I was just wanting to catch up with my companions to see if they acquired the horses. Because they were looking at a horses and cart, and if we're going to be traveling with you, at least until the next major city, I don't think we'll need quite all of that, but we'll see. I just need to talk with them real quick, and then we can leave, I would say. How big is this city? I mean, I know they were going to see the horses, so I'd be able to. It's not like the port city.
No.
Take like
That's
a couple
that's a
hours to
really
get
large
it.
city.
Okay.
This is just a town, so it would
Okay.
be fairly fast to find them. But he
Okay.
does tell you, well, if you can get to them before they buy, there is the trade city of Raton that is on the road. You could always buy them there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, anything. I mean, if we don't need them yet, I don't see an added expense at the moment. So give me 2 hours tops to
Sure.
try and find them real quick, and
Sure.
make sure they haven't purchased anything yet, and we'll just travel with you. And yeah, the more the merrier, less chance of any conflict.
Usually it does get merry when there's a lot of people. Yes.
He just kind of roll his eyes. It's like, okay, thank you. So you guys are just going to be hanging out here, getting ready in the meantime? Okay. All right. Well, it won't be any problem finding you guys. And he's just looking up at this
Usually isn't.
creature. Yeah. No. So let me go find them, and I will find you as soon as I'm able to talk with them.
All right.
No?
So,
Good day. He'll-
and he
Head off.
bows. Oddly enough, when he bows, his hat almost touches the ground.
All right, I guess he'll skip the inn. He'll just head. He'll stop real quick, ask somewhere. Where would you go to find horses and a cart, kind of thing, and just head. Try and catch up with audience and Valtteri.
All right, and since this portion would depend on what Valtteri and audience did and decided, we're gonna end this episode right here.
Yep, that was good. Yep,
That went good.
because they had plenty of time to go ahead and buy stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah. We're probably gonna start next episode with them making their shopping, if
We
they
gotta
can
start with the
repair their
flashback.
internet.
We have to
Yep.
start with the flashback of Trevor and audience talking on horseback.
Well, I gave him a hint that I posted in the Discord there that that he was too excited from the victory to talk about it at the moment, but we'll revisit it at a later time. So
So if he is there next session, you might actually have some time because you're going to be traveling with
I'll
a
be
lot of
traveling
people.
with the caravan. Yep, I have plenty of
Yay!
relaxed downtime to chitter chatter. Yep.
All right, so this is going to be it for tonight. We went way over time. It's a good thing that everyone could stay. For everyone else, thank you very much for watching, for sharing this moment with us, and we're going to see you all again next Wednesday.
Yes, hopefully you have my room set up too.
And with a full party. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
so see you all next
Hopefully, at
Wednesday.
least one more of the 4. Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Or we're gonna have to outsource.
Yeah.
All right. See you all next Wednesday. Bye.
See ya.